Okay, welcome everybody. Good to see those of you who are on the Zoom meeting. I see your faces. I miss you all, and we miss each other, I know. But and those of you who are on the phone listening in, welcome. This is your president, Dr. Monte Perez, and I am so happy that we have this time together. I wanted to wait a little bit regarding having Zoom meetings with students because you had, as well as faculty and staff, plenty to do. There was a lot of stuff going on since the 2 week transition from in the spring to go on to online and remote learning as soon as possible, and supporting each of you to make that transition, not just students, but faculty and staff as well. So here we are. The big news, as you know, announced earlier this week, the rest of the spring semester is all online and remote learning. And I know there's some questions that have been submitted that we will address in terms of particularly those courses that require practicum or some hands-on activity. So we will address that. I wanted to say that these are difficult times. We are going through three phases here. The first phase, when coronavirus really took hold in California, and in particular LA County, was response. What do we do about this? How do we as an educational institution, as a college, meet your needs and adjust to the stay-at-home order of the state, of the safer at home order of LA County? And so the first several weeks, 2, 3, 4 weeks, was all about responding, not only to making sure instruction continues, but also that our operations continue, like admissions and records, financial aid, and our business operation, our construction programs, and on and on and on. So we had to respond to the needs of our faculty and staff so they can continue their work. I think now we're moving into the second phase, which is stabilization. Now that we have a bit of a handle on the spring and moving forward with summer and fall, and we'll talk more about what that's going to look like, we can stabilize a bit, kind of catch our breath, and continue to be experts with online learning and remote learning, and continue to provide the resources and support needed for you, our students, so you can be successful. Um, we don't want you to have to drop out, but we know there are a lot of challenges. We know there are family, financial, employment, transportation, food challenges that you're facing. And we want to work with each of you, and I'll have more to say about that, as well as our Vice President for Student Services, about this period of time. It is stressful. It is very stressful. And I wanted to remind you, if you have not already, to complete the student survey that was sent out by the district through your LACCD email. If you could complete that, that would be great. The preliminary feedback so far has been about 400 responses, has been that you are stressed, as we all are. The challenges are great to adjust to online learning, but also the family and financial challenges continue to be very pressing. So we understand that, and we want to do our best to work with you to get you through this and get you going on your educational pathway. So that's something I wanted to let you know. Commencement will be going forward. Uh, Basically, what we're hearing from the committee of the 9 colleges that are involved with that planning is we plan to do what we call a recognition ceremony virtually for in June, and that we are planning to have a physical ceremony for the class of 2020 next year, so that you still will have that graduation ceremony where you can really celebrate your accomplishments. So You'll hear more about that. More information will be coming out. There's a district-wide committee made up of the 9 colleges, and our commencement committee is very involved at mission with that. And we will have a recognition, virtual recognition, that'll be top-notch, quite much fun. Not as much fun as being together and throwing your caps in the air, but we'll do that next year. The other thing I wanted to let you know is student worker 1,000-hour limit has been extended case by case basis. So those of you who are student workers that have hit your 1,000-hour limit for the period of time, it will be extended all through the spring semester. So you just need to make known to your supervisor. The supervisors then can get you that application and get it to the human resources for approval. So that's a good thing. The Chromebooks, I looked at today, we have 830 Mission College students who applied for Chromebooks. And although the district, through the district foundation, is called the Next Gen program. And although the district has received some major funding from a couple of 2 or 3 external foundations, we still are looking to get more dollars available so we can give you these Chromebooks. And the process is being speeded up as soon as possible. We're trying to deliver as many as we can every week as the applications get accepted, approved, and Chromebooks are made available through the mail. So that's kind of where we're at right now with that, but we are stepping up everything we can to make that happen. And then finally, I wanted to let you know that there is a federal program called CARES, which was really Stimulus One, that provides support for higher education students across the country. And these will be checks made available on the first advancement to each of the colleges. And we're coming up real soon with the amount and how we're going to distribute those checks to our students in an equitable way across our 10,000 students, how we go about doing that. And it'll be administered through financial aid and probably be a financial aid deposit to your bank account that can be made. And the range is from 175 to 300. We're not sure yet what that looks like, but we will be working with that. So you get an immediate cash flow. It appears it will be around 300, but I don't want to be quoted because we're still working out the data and the details on that number. We want that to be across all campuses the same, so that one campus doesn't get more than another campus, and we all are on the same playing field. That'll be advancement one. Then there'll be an advancement two of these federal dollars for ongoing support for students, as well as equipment and supplies that are necessary to transition to online. And we will be getting that information out to you real soon. So be aware that Alejandro Guzman, our public relations manager, will be communicating with you on how to access those dollars and how to make applications. The first round will be direct. The second round later in the semester will be an application process. So we'll inform you how to go about that. And then finally, let me tell you this. We are at a point where we are now stabilizing, but at some point we will be going into what we call recovery. That means when things settle down a bit and we have a better idea about whether or not we can congregate again, and if so, how, and what will that look like, that's down the road. But we need to be prepared because if things go well, we can indeed prepare for that. But also to recover in terms of making sure that all of your credits are recovered. We are being asked by LA Unified to assist their students for credit recovery. They missed out on spring semester grades in K-12. So we're stepping up our dual enrollment this summer for them so they can recover their credits. So recovery is not just about physical recovery and so forth. It's about recovery of your education to make sure you get what you need to transfer or to go into a career and occupation and employment. So we're here for you. And I'm glad we're having this meeting. I plan to have another one down the road as we get more information. And I will now ask our Vice President of Student Services to talk about student support services, and then we'll turn it over to our VP of Academic Affairs to answer some of the questions with regard to online learning and practicum. So Larry, Dr. Resendez, would you like to say a few words?
Perez, and I also just want to thank my senior leadership team, Dr. Alba Lopez, Dr. Tom Jacobs Meyer. I want to thank Alejandro for moderating today. So first I want to say my thoughts and prayers go out to all of you and your families during this difficult time. First and foremost, our priority is your health and safety. I hope that comes across, and I hope that you're experiencing that, but that clearly is our number one priority. Our number two priority, though, is supporting your education, both now and into the future. We really feel that Mission College can be a place for you, a family away from your family. And even though it's remote, it's a place for you to continue to work on goals that you've had for a long time and to make progress. I mean, this is a time that you can actually make progress in your life and move forward with the goals you have for your education and your career. And we're here to support you. The way that we do this, first and foremost, we've been working right alongside you and learning how to do this on a 100% remote level. And we know you're learning, and our staff in student services have been going through extensive training, learning about a new platform that we call Cranium Cafe, using Zoom and other types of modalities to be able to meet you where you're at. And in so doing, we're learning a lot. We're refining things. We're getting better at it. But please bear with us. We will go through some hiccups here, and we won't always be as efficient as we want to be, but we're learning. We want you to know about a couple of things that are available to you right now, but I would like to share this. We have three real goals. We have the goal of being accessible. We want to be accessible to you when you need it. We need to be responsive and timely in our responses. It can't be that you're waiting around for long periods of time to get answers to your questions. So we need to be responsive. And then we need to be solution focused. We need to come up with outcomes that are getting you to be able to move to the next step. So all of our staff and student services are poised and ready to be those three things: accessible, responsive, and solution oriented. And what we can do is we can set up a system, and what we're using right now is our web page. And if you'll notice, when you go on the landing page at lamission.edu, we have now Student Services Online is one of the highlights. It's one of the first things that you'll see. And if you click into that link, it will take you to all of the different areas within student services that can be supportive to you: counseling, financial aid, admissions and records, our career center, transfer center, all of our specialty programs like DSPS, EOPS, TRIO, our Veterans Resource Center, International Students Program, our Promise Program. And we have our Learning Resource Center, which is such a critical service for you right at this time, where you can access tutoring online and NetTutor. And then of course our library services. And you'll see, as Alejandro is pulling up on the screen, here's what it looks like. A couple of quick clicks and you can get right to the information that you need. The other thing, if we scroll down, there's something called Campus Resource Guide. And the Campus Resource Guide is something not just for students, but for faculty and staff. You go down to down at the very bottom to the right, it's Campus Resource Guide. And that gives you even more detailed information about what's available to you in student services. And all of these services now are provided online. I also want to just quickly mention that we are fully aware of what's happening out there in the way of basic needs. We recognize that you're dealing with financial stress. Some of you are dealing with housing insecurity, food insecurity. There's many things going on, and although we're an educational institution, we recognize that we're also in the business of social services and making sure that we're helping to connect you to the social services that you need. So there's a few things that I should point out. Our student health center is available to you. They're open Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. After hours, phone calls, emails can be routed to their general clinic, Northeast Valley Health Corporation's general clinic, so they can provide you with support, both physical health and mental health treatment. We also have a partnership with a community-based organization called Luminarias. Luminarias provides culturally sensitive mental health services in multiple languages, and they do it remotely. So they can provide you with remote mental health support. So we would encourage you to utilize that support. And the way you get access to Luminarias is through our Student Success Center and our Center for Wellness, which was one of the links that you would see in the page that Alejandro just showed you. So you can quickly get access to additional mental health support if you need it. Our Dream Resource Center is up and running, and they're online. So all of our dreamers, any of our students that are undocumented that need support can get support through the Dream Resource Center. And there are a lot of alternative mental health services at this time too. We have our crisis text line, which you can get support 24/7 by just texting 741-741. Someone will always be available to assist you. And then LA County Department of Mental Health has an access line, and that line is 24/7 as well. And those numbers are available on our Student Health Center website, and our Center for Wellness and our Student Success Center will also have that information. And then finally, just would say, and I know Nicole can talk about this, we want you to gear up for this next semester too. We want you to be thinking about, as you're moving through this semester, what's next? We've got our summer registration period. It's going to open up. The priority registration is going to begin on May 4th. And then open enrollment will be May 18th. And it looks like we're doing online courses for summer. And then we'll have to look at fall and what that's going to be like. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me. You can contact me by email. You can contact me by my cell phone, and right now it's 818-723-0466. And I will respond to any inquiry, and I will get you to anyone that you need to get help from. Thank you guys very much. We really are here for you. We feel like Mission is the place to be now and in the future, and we're here to support you.
Thank you, Dr. Resendez. Very informative. And I'll turn it over now to Dr. Nicole Alba-Lopez, our Vice President of Academic Affairs. Nicole, if you can continue about the spring, the summer, and so forth in the spring, and then the other questions you have in front of you with regard to practical hands-on courses.
Hello, everyone. I just wanted to give you a reminder of some of the things that we've been working on to support you through this transition. Our Learning Resource Center has embedded tutoring into all of the Canvas shells and created a virtual writing center, math center, and STEM center. And we're working on expanding that for the other departments and disciplines. So you can check that out in your Canvas site. We're also increasing peer support inside Canvas and putting some peer mentors in some of the classes to help students navigate through Canvas, provide help with submitting assignments, tracking dates, etc. So keep an eye on your Canvas shell to see if you have a mentor in your class. We're working with the faculty and the staff on trying to provide as much flexibility as possible as students are working through this transition. Some of you may have heard that we are allowing students to petition for their class to become pass, no pass versus a letter grade. And also we're allowing students to request an excused withdrawal if it's just too much and a student needs to temporarily stop out of a course. And then for classes that are hard to convert, which are those that require in-person hands-on requirements, we're going to be putting those on pause and providing what's called an in progress for students, which will not negatively impact them. And as soon as we can come back and complete what needs to be completed, we'll do that. And students also have the opportunity to work with their professors to ask for an incomplete if they just need a little bit more time to make up some of their work. We've also instituted, and it should be launched today, what we're calling our Fast Track Back courses. So the last 5 weeks of the semester, we're going to be offering courses in each of our general education areas. Students can register, take these classes online. They're with seasoned online professors. And they will have the support necessary to, finish up those last GEs if they need them. And then also prepare them to move into any classes in summer that may have a prerequisite on them. I'll go ahead and answer some of the questions that I've seen pop up. Regarding the phlebotomy class, that's a course that we offer through contract education. So we actually have a provider that we partner with to offer those courses. When it's safe to do so, we will continue to work with that partner to bring that opportunity back to campus. Regarding some of the lab classes that are hard to convert, and we are using Labster and other things, if you are interested in petitioning for a pass/no pass, please meet with a counselor to make sure that the institution you're planning to transfer to will accept that pass/no pass versus the letter grade. It's very important that you check that first. You always have the option to withdraw if necessary. Fall registration, we're pending putting that schedule together. So as you may see for summer, our classes are going to be all online and remote. We're going to keep that safer at home thought in place through the summer session. And for fall, we are planning a normal schedule where we'll have a combination of online and in-person classes. However, for those in-person classes, should we need to go remote, we're also planning for that. And we're working with the faculty right now to identify if those classes will be taught synchronous, which means a student and the class, the students in the class and the professor will meet at the same time, same day. Or a class would be asynchronous and synchronous, meaning sometimes you would meet and the rest would be online. Or we would have classes that are fully online. And we're working to program PeopleSoft so that when you go in to select your classes, that will be easily identifiable so that you can determine which would be the best fit for you. I see somebody had a question regarding tutoring not responding. You can contact me directly as I oversee that area, and I will make sure that I get you the support that you need. And I think that's all of the questions I've seen come up. Yesterday, we did get a question regarding culinary arts. And I will say that I'm working personally with the chefs for our summer session. We are developing kits that we'll be mailing to students so that they can practice on small scale at home baking. And then we're working on determining if we can do a similar practice for our classes in the fall, where students would still have the opportunity to get those hands-on skills. Additionally, we're looking at adopting what's called an independent study class, which a student can register for a class directly with a professor and just work on the skills and in any areas they feel they need additional support in on a one-on-one basis. I think that's all of the things that have come through for academic affairs. We will go through these questions and provide written responses so that you can come back to them if we missed something. So I guess I'll hand it back over to you, Dr. Perez.
Great, thank you, Dr. Alba Lopez. There are some questions and comments on the chat box here that we will address, but now I would like to turn it over to Tom Jacobsmeyer, our Interim Vice President of Administrative Services, if he would like to give a report on the status of the campus. Tom?
All right, good afternoon, everyone. I'm going to share a screen here and work with my notes. As many of you may know or may not know, administrative services is sort of the engine that drives the campus from a facilities and support area. We support academic affairs, the president's office, and student services in providing all of the students with the backup that those different departments need to operate what it is that they do. So when you come on the campus, all of the areas that we work with, you see, whereas some of the ones that academic affairs student services manage, you may not see, but everything on campus that you see is under administrative services from a functional and building standpoint. So let me go down the areas that we're working in right now. Campus security. The campus is closed to regular traffic. If you need to come on campus, you must check with the sheriff's department before you come on campus. This is for your safety and for the safety of those essential staff that are still reporting to work. So visitors must have a pre-authorization to come on board from the sheriff or from someone in one of the departments on campus. And remember that when you do come on campus, you do need to wear a face protection, face covering, or you won't be allowed to come on campus. You can check in with the sheriff's office at their office or at the entrance to the parking structure. All of your entry to the campus should come through the parking structure, not on a walk-on basis. If you go through the parking structure, then the sheriff will know you're there, and that certainly helps them out. They don't want to have to try to find you if you've come aboard and then contact you then. Campus buildings. Most of the campus buildings are secured currently. There is no one in those buildings, and the buildings have limited air conditioning service, and air cycling is continuing in the buildings, but the air conditioning is changed from a comfortable to a more efficient level. And we're trying to save money there. It's something that the campus has been working on. Do not enter a building without prior permission. If you find a building that's open, don't go in there unless you've already got permission from the sheriff or from someone who is occupying that building. Our general services still continue. The campus continues to operate all functions necessary to maintain the class curriculums. These services are operating mostly in an online capacity, and these services are the ones that back up the staff and the faculty to help you get through your classes. So everyone who works at Mission College knows that these are the areas that are still supporting them and will continue to support them. Some of it is online, some of it is actually in person. So we have essential personnel in some of these areas that are coming to campus on a daily basis. They come on what's called rotating schedule work blocks. That'll be maybe 2 days a week and 4 hours per day. So we want to limit the exposure to our staff also and make sure that they're safe. So with that in mind, the areas that are still functioning and will continue to function are purchasing. We need to support the staff and students with the purchasing processes. Payroll, staff and faculty want to get paid, so we need to keep them moving so that you can get your courses. Personnel, any personnel issues that someone has on the staff can be addressed by the online staffing at personnel, and they can get a hold of them either in person, on phone, or by internet. Maintenance and operations is still on campus and still operating the buildings that are functioning and that are still open, and they are repairing and updating and continuing to make the campus serviceable, and we'll have it ready when campus does resume operations. Just to give you a little update here, the maintenance and operations department just started up a brand new service for electrical supply for the campus, which is going to save the campus some money. So the funds that we save there will go to help defray the deficits that we're creating through this COVID-19 process. Custodial, got to give a real howdy to the custodians out there. They are working yeoman's work. They're continuing to clean buildings. Every day they go in and clean the buildings that were occupied or visited. And they've been doing this ever since day one of this COVID-19 event. They'll continue to do that as long as is necessary. And I'd like to thank those people in that department. They're working very hard to keep that campus is clean and make sure that it's up to date as far as its cleaning and health services go. Mailroom's on limited service. The faculty are using some of the mailroom services, but it is pretty limited. We're mailing out Chromebooks through the mailroom right now. So if you are receiving them, they either are coming through our mailroom or through the mailroom at the district office. Bookstore is limited services, but you can still order your books online and they will ship those books to you. So just because the bookstore is physically closed and physically locked doesn't mean that it is not operating. The bookstore staff is working a work block a couple days a week and 4-hour shifts as necessary. And if they need to add more to make sure you get your books and other orders, they will certainly do that. So please use the bookstore online ordering services to get your books and get all the things that you need that are a part of Mission College. Sheriff's Office, open 24/7. They're always there and they will give you services and make sure that you're safe when you do come on campus. The Mission College is operating with the District Office of Emergency Services Operations Center. Mission College has an incident command center that operates on a daily basis and even on the weekends. We're still available on the weekends to respond to issues that come up with the campus. So the entire district is operating using the emergency response plan that's been developed over years, and it is helping campuses function better. We pass information along much more efficiently in this process than we would normally. So rest assured that that is something that is being well managed by the district office. And if you have any questions for the admin services staff, then you can find the emails online and send us a question. Now, I didn't check to see if there's any questions for me in the area. Did you see any questions for Ed Services, Alejandro?
I don't think so. This is Dr. Perez. There was a hand that was raised by a student, and I'm not sure that has to do with administrative services, but
Okay.
thank you, Tom. Appreciate
All right.
it.
You're welcome.
I just,
we're
one just came in.
gonna
It says, sorry about that, Dr. Perez. I didn't
sorry.
mean to interrupt you. I just saw one that came in. It says, where is the sheriff's office at? It just came in right now.
Okay, good. Tom, you want to answer that?
Well, the sheriff's office is just outside the parking structure. So if you go through the parking structure, the sheriff's office will be there off to the left.
Very good. And it's that little kiosk that's in the parking structure. They're occupying that facility. We do have several questions and comments on the chat box, but before I get to those, and we will get to all of them, I want to commend the faculty and staff, and particularly the faculty and Dr. Nicole Alba-Lopez remarks. And they have also gone through a lot, just like you and I, with regard to making sure their families are safe, that they're educating their children, as well as conducting courses, and it's all a learning curve for all of us. So I think that Dr. Ackle, Carol Ackle, is on the Zoom meeting, the president of the Academic Senate. Carol, do you have anything you would like to offer?
Yes, thank you, Dr. Perez. I'll be brief in my address. I don't want to take time away from students asking their questions. I do want to thank you for organizing this town hall for the students and giving them this opportunity to speak to you and the community and share their experiences under the circumstances they're going through. I want to thank the students. I want to thank you guys for your resiliency in facing this difficult time that we're all going through. I am speaking on behalf of the faculty at Los Angeles Mission College. We all look forward to hearing all your comments and concerns. So keep those questions coming. None of us really had a choice really in deciding whether we wanted to go remote, online. We just had to do it, right? My daughter, who's a 7th grader, was learning this morning about living organisms in her science lesson. And she had to identify characteristics of living organisms. And one of the properties she found is adaptation. Living organisms adapt. That's what we're all doing. Just like you, faculty are struggling with this new reality we're living in. Some of us had to adjust to learning about new applications, technology, and try to find ways to deliver our curriculum efficiently. We continue to tweak things and improve on ways of delivering content, so please be patient with us. Please reach out to us. That's the most important thing. Reach out to us, your instructors. Let us know what we can do to make this experience smooth. Our mission is to teach you the content and prepare you for whatever your next steps are, be it to transfer, to get a job, or to get a better job, a promotion, or to prepare you for next semester. We want to help you accomplish your goals by giving you the tools you need to be successful. And just like you, faculty are caring for family members, homeschooling our kids, worrying about what things will be like when we're back, and we will be back. We really are in this together, and we will overcome it. Communication and dialogue are key. Please don't forget that. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ackel, Carol, wonderful. And, you know, the human stories are across the board, and we all have them. Even your president has his story. But I want to invite Vilma Bernal, our president of the Faculty Guild, the union, because work environment as well as work supporting the health of faculty is part of their charge. So Vilma, if you're on the line, do you have some things you would like to offer?
Sure. I just want to echo what Dr. Carol Ackel stated to all of you, in that we're all in this together. I know that your world has been changed. Our world has been changed as well. And so we can relate to you. We can come along with you in this journey. I can assure you that as the union president, we are constantly helping our faculty to ascertain that they have all the necessary resources and information to help you succeed, to help you, the student, succeed during this pandemic. And so we're constantly dialoguing as to how we can meet your needs, how we can help you be successful. And so this is what we're putting in the mindset of our faculty, is to make sure that they come along you in assisting you in whatever it is that you need. But I just want to assure you that we're here with you. We're walking along with you. And just as your world was changed, ours was changed too. So if you have any questions, if you have any part of your course doesn't make sense to you, and if you have questions about a particular assignment, a discussion, a question, a test, please don't hesitate to contact your instructors, because we want to hear from you and we want to help you, but we can't if you don't reach out to us. We are afraid when we don't hear from you. That's, to us, that's panic. That's like the number one panic, when we don't hear from you. And so reach out to us, keep in constant communication with us. And I can assure you, we will get through this together. I assure you. But let's just do it. The key here, the key word here is together. So thank you, Dr. Perez, for giving me the podium.
Thank you, Vilma. So great. We have several questions in the chat box and statements. I think many of them have been answered. There was a question from Jay Contreras about probation, academic probation. Rosalie Torres answered that, saying that the semester will not count at probation status according to the district IT. And if anyone else wants to comment to that, that's great, but that's the answer. So it does not count. Hello, I petitioned my certificate, and Dr. Resendez got back to contact Carlos Gonzalez so you can get your certificate. You said you're not worried about graduation, but you do want your certificate, and that's understandable. So contact Dr. Carlos Gonzalez, and in fact, I'm going to be discussing that tomorrow with Vice President Resendez and Vice President Elbo Lopez about making sure those skills certificates and all certificates are as much as possible readied and given as soon as possible. Then we have the since from Brianna. Good to hear from you, Brianna. Since that was a suspended 100-hour limit for student workers, may the student get more hours added to their schedule. That's between you and your supervisor. And if you need more hours and there's work for you to do, they can petition that. They can make that application on a case-by-case basis. So the answer to that is your supervisor would have to submit that request. Can we talk about student loan submission process? I sent a loan package to the campus, but was told that the loan cannot be processed because there is no one allowed on campus. Now, student loan, I think Dennis Schroeder is on the call. Dennis, would you like to answer that about how can they process their student loan package? Okay, we can contact Larry if you could, Dr. Resendez, take that down as something to respond to.
Sure, yeah, and I think Dennis, you're right, is on the line, and I already sent him on, so we'll work on that one and figure out what's going on, because we can get someone on campus to pick up what's needed.
I think Dennis can speak now. I unmuted him.
Yes.
Okay,
Briefly, yes, I'll work with the individual student on the loan question. Forms can be emailed to our office. The best thing to do is contact us through our virtual counter and find out how to submit forms to see that we're getting the right forms from students. A lot of our forms are online forms already. We'll simplify things. With the loan question, I'm working with the individual student on that right now through emails.
Thank you, Dennis. Appreciate it, Dr. Resendez, and thank you, Dennis. For programs like graphic design, we will be able to get our certificates. I was on track to graduate, and again, the same, yes, we're going to make sure you get your certificate, and if you've completed, those will be processed. So definitely, and again, Carlos Gonzalez would be key in that, but we are going to have a much quicker methodology soon. Mary Wong, can we talk? Okay, we talked about that. Hello, Paula Quiros. Hello, I want to know if someone is taking microbiology or physiology class, and if we change the option to pass, no pass, will the university accept it? It's really challenging for classes like this. Dr. Alba Lopez, do you want to answer that question?
Yes, so we advise students to touch base with the counselor to review that as an option. Some universities do require a letter grade depending on if the class is a major preparation class. And it's best that a student speak with a counselor to determine that before making that decision.
Very good, and I see that Rosalie did respond in writing, indicating the same thing you just said. But she did add, CSUs mostly will accept, but your major may be an issue. So yes, you need to check with a Mission College counselor to make sure that pass, no pass would work for microbiology or physiology when you transfer. What is the fall semester registration date? Do you have that information, Dr. Alba Lopez?
The district is working on programming PeopleSoft for fall. So we've temporarily suspended registration, our typical registration period. So as soon as we have a date in mind, we'll send that out to students.
Very good. And again, Alejandro Guzman is our public relations manager. He communicates with you through social media as well, Facebook, Instagram, and so forth. So we will continue to be pushing out this information in addition to your LACCD edu email. Let's see. Hello, I filed petition. We got to that one. Will those petitions be mailed out? Larry?
Which petitions are we looking at here? The
Certificate, it's a question from Lena Gregorian. Hello, I filed petition for certificate and an AA diploma in May. Will those be mailed out and when? Thank you.
In May. Okay. Was that last May?
Okay, I'll
Let's
ask.
get clarification on the dates, and Carlos and Pablo and I can work on that. This is Alina.
This is Lena, yes.
Okay, it looks like Carlos may have answered her question.
Good.
From what I can see in the
Contact
chat.
Pablo Rosales. Okay, good. All certificates from last year were completed. Okay. Now, students were contacted, picked up their certificate. So if she hasn't picked it up, we should mail it to her. So
We can arrange that.
Hi, hello. Will the campus be refunding the spring parking pass or giving credit for it for another semester? We are giving credit for another semester. We are refunding individuals that are graduating. I think that was the decision. Do you recall, Larry, what we decided to do on that?
I believe that's right. Nicole, I think that was the outcome. The ones graduating and transferring.
Okay. So yeah, they're still good for next semester. And if you're transferring or graduating, you'll get a refund.
And Tom may have information on that too.
I saw Zenaida nodding her head. Let me unmute her real quick. She might have something to add here.
Let's have Zenaida do it.
Oh, hi. Good afternoon, everyone. Yes, for graduating students, I believe they get a 50% refund. And then for the ones who are not graduating, they will get a credit for either summer or fall, depending if we're gonna open for summer. If not, they can use their parking permits in fall.
Very good.
How do they request the refund?
They have to do it in, there's a form on the business office web page for the refund, and they have to support it with a confirmation that they're graduating this semester. And we will mail the checks to them or put a credit on their account.
Okay, good, good. Question from Nazia Mansouri. If classes are time conflict, now that they're all online, who do we call or email? So if there's a time conflict between two classes. Nicole, can you answer that?
Sure. So the student can actually contact me directly, and we can assist the student with filing a petition, which will allow us to provide a temporary override. We've been given clearance from the district to do this for remote and online classes, given the emergency situation. It's something we typically don't do, but in this case, I can work with the student to make that happen.
Okay, great. So contact Dr. Nicole Lopez in her office, either by phone or email, and she'll respond. Hello, the tutoring department is not responding. How can I get a hold of them? So again, how can we ensure that the tutoring department gets back to the student?
So the main entry to tutoring is through campus at this time. We're physically not on campus, but if you are having trouble, please contact me and I will make sure that I get you in touch with the appropriate person.
Very good, very good. Elizabeth Munguia, for those of us who need a practicum class at a later semester, will those be postponed until we know what is going on, what is going to be done for those classes? So I think you already said that, Dr. Nicole, with regard to practicum, and you could do it later and postpone it. Is that correct?
That is correct. And then for those that we're putting on the schedule for the fall semester, we are putting a note that if for some reason we have to move to remote instruction, those courses will be postponed.
All right. So it's the reality we live in, Elizabeth, but we will meet your needs at the safe and appropriate time, but we do have plans to make it happen. When is financial aid going to be distributed for the spring semester? Dennis, you might want to handle that one.
I think I answered this earlier, but yes, The expected date for the second disbursements for the spring semester is next week. That normally means money goes out somewhere between Wednesday and Friday for those with Bank Mobile, or for automatic deposit their accounts, usually somewhere between Wednesday and Friday.
Thank you, Dennis. Very appreciative of financial aid staff to continue to work hard, even though they're remote. For in-person classes in the fall, will the number of students cap at a smaller amount to allow social distancing? Basically, as Dr. Nicole indicated, we're putting it on the schedule. If in-person classes are indeed appropriate and safe, we will have to follow LA County Public Health as well as the state's guidance on that. And if it does occur, if it does occur, there may be restrictions, and social distancing may be required, and even masks for that matter. So we don't know yet, but absolutely we'll follow the LA County Public Health guidance. Hi, this is Michelle. I take classes online. Question is child development 008, 007. Will that be online? Nicole, do you know the answer to that question?
If it's a practicum class, more than likely it will be suspended if we're not able to come in person, because there are not opportunities for our students to go out into the field and gain their hours working with children.
Okay. We have a question from Hema. What about kinesiology majors that need an active class like lab? If we would have to meet, how would that work? Meeting places. I think we have a strategy on that. Nicole, you want to talk about that?
Sure. So we've been working with the kinesiology faculty, and they have been able to adapt where people are able to do most of what they need to independently, and either record that or report it back out to their professor. And as we move forward, we're looking at virtual opportunities and other ways that we can accomplish the objectives of those courses.
Okay, again, there was a question about parking passes. We answered that. Chris, to everyone, what about the signed graphic courses? Will fourth semester students be able to get our certificates? I think we've answered that. If you completed it, we're going to get it to you as soon as possible. We have a strategy to do that. Does the college have psychotherapy in place for all people that are feeling overwhelmed? I think Dr. Resendez and Larry responded that we have an agreement with Luminaria's nonprofit that provides culturally sensitive, high level of behavioral support or support during this period of time, during the mental stress we're all going through. So yes, that is available. It's online on the Student Services website. And you
if
can
you go, Dr. Perez, if they go to the Student Success Center, their Center for Wellness, there's actually an intake form that they can complete online, and then they can be referred to a Luminarious therapist that can do remote mental health.
Very good, Larry. Thank you. Thank you. What if, Monica Garcia says, what if we have students who have not responded to emails, have not gone on Canvas, and have not checked in with us at all? Nicole, what does that mean? And Larry, let's start with Nicole in terms of the credit side. A student is, let's put it this way, missing in action. Hate to use that term, but they haven't responded. So what does that mean credit-wise?
So we're asking for faculty to notify us so that we can reach out to those students via both phone call and email. If the faculty member does opt to drop the student and the student does come back, we can definitely work with that faculty member to reinstate the student, but we are doing our best to reach out to those that we lose contact with.
Larry, what is that in terms of follow-up? Your staff is calling students and trying to find
the same thing. We've gotten some faculty that have reached out to us and said, my student hasn't been in touch with me. I don't know what's going on. I've reached out to them by email, but I haven't had a response. So then we'll look at other contact methods. We'll look at their their personal email. If they have that on file in our student information system, we'll look for cell phones and then reach out. And we've had some success getting in touch with people and checking in with them.
Okay, in response to Nasi Mansouri's question, Rosalie does bring out the fact that I recommend you contact your department chair because of audit issues with the classes that conflict. So again, Dr. Nicole would guide you in the right direction, and we'll get to that answer. Okay, we got microphysiology, summer classes commence. Hema wants to know, where can we find a petition to fill out pass, no pass? Nicole, where do they get that petition?
It's available on our district website. We've also put it on the LRC page, and I believe Student Services has it available on their page.
We do. It's on counseling and A&R's website.
Good. So it's plenty of places to get that petition. So very good. A question from Lena. I think we may have already answered that. Can you repeat the part about culinary arts? Oh, say that again, Nicole, about culinary arts and what we're doing for the practicum.
Sure, sorry, my dog's barking. So for culinary arts, what we're doing is working with the faculty to create kits which we can mail to students so that they can practice their skills such as baking, cooking, etc. from home on a small scale. So we're doing that for our baking classes this summer. And then as we move into the fall semester, we are preparing if we need to move remote on how we would be able to do a similar concept.
Very good. Question on for the science classes. That's pretty cool. You get a kit in the mail and you can bake a cake. The only thing I think you have to do is have eggs and a little bit of milk. And you can do this practicum. For the science-based classes, will there be any issues about transferring to other schools, or will our credits show those classes as online based? I don't think there'll be any issues, whether they're online or not online. Nicole, do you want to try to tackle that one?
I believe that our transcripts do not list whether a course is offered online or in person, so it shouldn't matter to the transcript. Many years ago, some institutions didn't accept coursework that was online for the sciences, but primarily almost everyone's doing the sciences to some degree online now.
Yes, they are, and we are at LACCD. Welcome to the 21st century. This is how education will be delivered ongoing in many ways. Then we have, where do we find out about fast track classes? So they have to, where's that information available, Nicole, on fast track?
It's available on our website, and Alejandro did post the link previously. And then also in the schedule of classes, when you go to the portal, you can just search by late start and you'll see them as part of the late start options.
Great. Then we have a question here from Elizabeth. Can EOPS vouchers be used to purchase books online? Larry?
Well, I know we're working on a system to make sure that students have access to whatever they need. So I will take that up with Ludi Villegas Vidal and make sure that that's addressed. But it should be the case that they can get access.
Yeah, and pretty much the bookstore is doing online orders just about across the board and mailing out books. So yeah, I think the answer is yes. And again, Dr. Resendez gave you his phone number. If you need to call him, he'll talk to the OPS and we'll get the answer. Yeah, we have Miriam says yes, EOP vouchers are accepted.
Oh, perfect.
Thank you, Miriam. Appreciate it. Let's see. How do we get a book for the bookstore if I'm an EOPS program? I think we answered that. And I didn't get to buy the book with my book voucher. Okay, well, that's an EOPS question. They'll have to, Paola, have to address with Ludi and Dr. Resendez, Larry.
Yes.
Okay. All right. right, looks like we've answered most questions. Does anyone on the screen have questions? Alejandro, are there any more questions that we have that I haven't been able to address?
I'm quickly scanning through them right now, but I think we've covered most everything.
Okay. Wonderful. All right, so let me wrap this up because I know you're zoomed out. I mean, I'm sure you have lots of Zoom, lots of remote learning, Canvas, and so forth. It is a new world. It's taxing. I was telling earlier Vice President Nicole in our weekly phone call that I read an article about how taxing it is to be at home full-time, working or going to school full-time, and taking care of the household. That it appears our sleep cycle is disrupted. We're not sleeping the way we used to. We're getting up early and doing lots of things. By the end of the day, it's 8 o'clock at night. And we said, well, what happened to the whole day? So it is physically and mentally and emotionally challenging, but let's put it this way. We're here for you. You're here with us. And I want to reiterate what President Vilma Bernal said. We're together. We're all Eagles. I have my Mission College baseball jacket behind me to remind me just how great a team we are, because we are a team and we love each other. So God bless. I'll be back in touch again with another meeting with more information. Keep your eyes open for Alejandro's messages, especially regarding the funding from the stimulus that will be coming to you directly in the near future. So everyone, stay calm, stay healthy, and stay with Mission College. We're your family, and we love you. Have a good day.